Hey, welcome to another episode of Dad Bods and Touchdowns. Joined here with Eric and Jake. For some reason, I'm showing Eric's dad, Jake Spooner.
Oh
Uh,
my
that's
god.
what I'm showing on my page.
We're
But
here, buddy.
hey, I don't
Welcome,
know what that.
son.
I'm
Welcome,
trying.
son.
I'm just
Oh
trying to figure it
god.
out, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
I don't
sounds
want to
right.
know. All right. Some exciting news going on right off the bat with the NFL this year. They're talking to raising the salary cap 277 to 281 mil a team. That will make it definitely a little bit easier for some of these teams to sign some players, be able to maneuver their rosters around, especially if you're like the Saints or the Browns that are struggling with their salary cap. Make life a little easier for a new head coach like Kellen Moore, who's stepping into a cap nightmare. What do you think about that, Eric? You think the NFL is doing teams favors, or you think that that's really what the league needs with the way that contracts have jumped?
It's what they need. Yeah, there's no way you can maintain a high caliber team with the amount of money staying the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially second year contract or second term contracts.
right. Jake, what's your take on the new jump for the salary cap?
I mean, I think it's helping teams out. I mean, you just look at some of these quarterbacks, everyone else, everyone's got to get paid, your top players. And it's hard to, pay those people when that price is going up and up and up and up. So,
Right.
I mean, I think it's a good thing. People get the people
Yeah.
that want signed and it helps teams out.
I mean, I think it's great for the teams to obviously, like you guys have said, to be able to sign these players. I guess my concern more than anything else is what that creates for us as the fans. I know we complain a lot about now, we have to stream it here or we have to watch it on Amazon, we have to watch it on Netflix, we have to watch it on Fox, we have to, whatever the case may be, we have to stream it sometimes, or we have to have an NFL Network. We as fans complain about this. All right. Obviously, this is all revenue generated towards the NFL, which obviously is generated out to distributed out to teams um, to try to offset some of the costs that it takes to run these teams. But like I said, raising these, what's next? I know the Bears have already announced that their season ticket holders took a jump in their price as how much as far as its yearly cost to be a season ticket holder. So we're seeing that right off the bat. Where does that line kind of draw in the sand where it comes to, okay, we have to watch what we're doing to our fans, but allow these teams to be able to generate the cap space they need to sign big players?
I mean, I think the biggest thing, it's always going to be more. Players are always going to want more because they see the teams making more. So until they implement a like a bottom salary cap or some kind of thing, it's going to turn into the NBA or even MLB where they can give them 15-year contracts that are 600 plus.
Right,
Uh,
right. But I mean, does that make sense? Well, I mean, do you understand what I'm
it's
trying to
just
say?
no, yeah,
As
I
far
get
as
what you're
being a
saying,
fan and
and I
taking
mean,
that kind of cost on.
somebody will pay for season tickets. It doesn't matter.
Is he froze on yours?
Yeah.
Did I
There you go.
freeze?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're good now, though.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry.
He's got that
People
Walmart
will pay.
internet there.
People, yeah, right. It's me, not you, right? Um, no, people will pay. I mean, you hear about people are like sending letters to the teams and being like, "Hey, this is way too much. I can't pay this," and they're like, "Okay, there's 20 other people waiting to get season
right.
tickets."
Yeah, and I know in Chicago that waiting list is forever. So, but I just, that's the way, I mean, like I said, I think it's great so these teams can stay competitive. Obviously, they've always looked to make sure that every team can be competitive with each other. You don't want one, unfortunately, like how Kansas City has done or New England's done in the past, where one team just kind of rules the league for a while. They're trying to avoid that. But in the same return, I think we need to start looking out too for the cost of the fan watching it, because you don't want what's happened in baseball to happen to the NFL. And let's face it, I mean, Major League Baseball probably never thought that that could happen to them, that they would lose that number one spot, and they did. You've got people like, sports like MMA, the UFC. UFC, Dana White said it. I want to be bigger than the NFL. You know, uh, who knows? That may be the situation later on because right now you got pay per views and you have fight nights that sometimes you have to have ESPN Plus, sometimes you don't, and it's on ABC. So, with saying that, I mean, you've only got three spots to watch that, where now with the NFL, you're spreading it all over the place to try to cover some of this. It could happen to them. What happened to Major League Baseball could happen to the NFL eventually. Just my thought as a fan.
I mean,
Well,
I'm right there with you on that one. I mean, I can see it both ways, but I mean, with as big as baseball is, and or not baseball, football, it'd be
Baseball used to be that way.
yeah. But to me, I personally, I'd rather watch people, hit each other than somebody swing a bat and run. But
Yeah, but would you rather watch somebody knock somebody out or somebody get a
yeah,
15-yard penalty for roughing the passer?
yeah. But at the same time, too, I don't. I could see it from like the MMA portion, like with the free fights, everything else. But then you do have that pay per view to where it's
Yeah,
almost $100 to watch that fight.
right,
That
right.
draws a lot of people away.
Yeah,
So, and if you want to watch good fights, unfortunately, those are made for. I mean, you'll have good fights for fight nights and everything else, but your good fights, best fighters are usually on that pay per view. So in order
right.
to really see them, I mean, you got to pay that money or find a way to stream it.
yeah,
So,
how much money is Dana making from these pay-per-views? Like we
Oh,
had to
there.
pay every other week. We're spending $70 to watch
mhm.
these guys fight, and that
Right.
I just that puts more of a sour taste than the football does to me. I don't
But I
know.
mean, you could also make that same argument for the NFL right now. I mean, obviously, what they did this year
With the
with
subscriptions,
with the
I understand that.
Netflix
I
and
guess.
all that stuff. I mean, it's starting
Yeah.
to hinder towards that way, but it's not like a pay per view. In order to
Well,
watch this game, you have to have this
I
service.
think I think we touched base on it at the beginning of the season or shortly before the season started. To watch the actual whole season as a fan of a team, you may spend upwards to close to $900 for that year to be able to watch the NFL. So
Yeah,
I mean it's not far off of what pay per view costs are costing you through the year. If not, probably right in between there. It's 70, $80 for a pay per view. You got 12 of them a year. You know what I mean? 13 of them a year.
yeah,
So it's not far off of it, really.
yeah.
So, but I mean, that's just my thought. I mean, like I said, I don't want to. I was just trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate with the raising of it, but also thinking of the fans, and ultimately we pay the price anytime that goes up. So, all right, Eric, I think you said this one about Acho,
It pissed me off a
saying
little.
that the Cowboys are one Eagles offseason away from being in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I'll let you handle this one first. Go ahead.
I was going through, on our X place, X page, and it just shows up. Sam Macho does this, and I was like, "What is this man smoking?" He's saying that as if they get a few pieces on the offensive line and add a running back that they or in another edge rusher that they're there with like the Eagles. I was like, "No way." How is that even possible that you can say? I know he's probably doing it as clickbait, with all the Fox stuff going around over there, but it's just, it's just like, I don't know, man. I was just like, you're an idiot, dude. Whatever you're
I
smoking, I guess I want some.
I will say this. My take on it, to be honest with you, is I don't think the Cowboys are a bad team. I don't. I think that last year you had Cooper Rush at quarterback. I mean, not having Dak as your quarterback is a big hit. I don't think Donald had a bad season as a running back. I thought he did fairly well considering the circumstances. And CD Lamb, I mean, what? I mean, that guy could barely move that last game he played. Every time he caught a ball and landed, I mean, he was in mass pain. So, with saying that, do I think that they're a Super Bowl contender? Like, I agree with you. No, hell no. Um, do I think they're a bad team? No, I don't think the Cowboys are a bad team. I just think they're like every season, like Cowboys are, and they're a playoff team, and that's it. They're not a Super Bowl
Yeah.
team. So, um,
I
Jake, what's
just
your take on Achos?
I mean, I think like it's more of a getting his fans riled up, everything trying to get some backs or support, but needless to say, like you said, Cowboys are the Cowboys. They're a playoff team. That's as far as they make it. So, and the injury bug seems to hit them a lot. And if it's not the injury bug, then I don't know what the fuck it is. But
it's their owner.
yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna say, but I don't want to blame it all on one person. But at the same, because coaching does play a factor into it too. So, I mean, I think it's just that whole organization needs just to clear that office out and then bring in some new people. And I can see it maybe turning around, but people got to stay healthy for them too.
Right. Eric, you said it's the owner. Let me ask you this honest question. Okay. Would you take Jerry Jones as the owner of the Bears, or would you take George McCaskey as the owner of the Bears?
Wow, you're doing this shit on purpose again. Okay,
That's a tough question.
I see what you're doing.
You said it, and it came right to my mind.
No, I know. I said that, and I was like, oh, okay. No, I guess I would rather run Jerry because he just throws money. And when you have
He
somebody
cares.
like, yeah,
He
exactly.
does care.
Not like in a bad way, but he's just like he's like a fan that has money that can play actual GM like in Madden. You know what I mean? And just
Right.
And it's just trying to throw money here and there, and he's like, maybe this will work. You know,
Right.
But I would take him. I mean,
Yeah.
I know. What is his name? No, I can't think of it. McCaskey. He would probably. I mean, he showed he showed he could listen this time at least with the money he spent just now. But I think I want Jerry just because he's funny sometimes.
No, I agree. I agree completely. I agree. That's when you said that. I'm like, man, we have probably one of the worst owners when it comes to caring about winning. I'll take that a little bit back just because, like you said, the money that was spent, who we brought in as a head coach. I agree. Jake, who would you take as an owner?
I mean, I'd probably go with Jerry. Because just with the Bears history and the way we've been, I mean, it's hard not to say that, but I think it'd be Jerry. But I know Eric wants it to be Jerry just because he wants to ride on a helicopter. So he wants to feel special.
Hey, look at it this way, though. If it was Jerry and he did hire Ben Johnson, we know he'll fire him in 4 years, 5 years after winning the Super Bowl. So, I mean, he may fire him after winning the Super Bowl. So, I mean, that's one thing we can count on for
he's
sure.
He's an egomaniac. He wants everybody to see him. He's like, I'm the reason we won the Super Bowl, not, whoever you want to say.
Yeah. All right, not Jimmy Johnson, that's for sure.
I was going to say, yeah, not Jimmy Johnson.
All right. Andy Dalton signed a new 2-year contract in Carolina. I'll be honest with you, I'm not surprised too much with that, only because I think he did a good job while he was in that starting role. I don't think he did a bad job for Carolina. And I think he's good for, for helping out. I'm drawing a blank, quarterback for Carolina.
Bryce
Young.
Bryce Young, yes, he'll be good for Bryce Young to continue to help him grow. I think as a starter. So, Jake,
that more shocked me just because I mean, as he came in as a starter, right? And you figure having that coming in as a starter, but now you're a backup. To me, that drive would be like, okay, in the league that needs quarterbacks right now, why not go test it and see what you can do?
It's a safe play.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah. I mean, but you never know. I mean, you got like Andy Dalton, And, no, Sam Darnold. What am I saying? Andy Dalton.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold. Look what he did with, Minnesota this year. I mean, and that drove his value up. I mean, you never know what's truly going to happen. You've seen him with the Bears, what he did. I mean, he did shit, but at the same time too, I mean, you got people that were backups, and now they like why am I blanking his name right now for the Bucks?
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield's a different animal.
I know, but you sitting back in that backup position, right? and you get your chance, you play decent or well, and then now someone gives you that shot, and now you could be playing lights out. Who knows?
Yeah, but would you sign Andy Dalton as your starting quarterback, or would you sign Jameson Winston as your starting quarterback if you had a choice?
I don't know. That's tough. I mean, to be honest,
Jameson Winston all day long.
I don't
man.
know.
It's make
That-
or break with him, though. Like
No, it is.
you're gonna live by the sword or die by the sword.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's going to throw 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But I mean, no, I agree. But I just, to me, it is a quarterback needy league next year. I agree. But in the same return, I think when you, like you said, you got Sam Darnold out there, and you do have Jameson Winston out there as far as quarterbacks. I think Andy Dalton is looking more the fact of what can he do to take. I mean, he's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
What can he do to take the pressure off himself, to not have to worry about week in and week out? That's a perfect spot for him landing there. I have not seen the numbers on it. I don't know. I just knew it was a 2-year contract. Eric or Jake, did you guys see what the dollar amount was? Was it
I didn't specify
I did not see
when
it
I looked
either.
at it. It's probably like league minimum, probably like 10 to 20, I would say.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's a safe play for him to stay there. Just my take. And plus, I mean, he did get in that car accident, and who knows what injuries he actually sustained in that. So, speaking of contracts, rumored that Jamar Chase's contract is going to be upwards of $40 million a year. With saying that, I think you pretty much push Higgins out the door with that one, unless you're going to see some movement of getting rid of people in Cincinnati. Large dollar amount, great wide receiver. Is he worth $40 million a year?
I don't think so.
I mean, right now they have 53 million in cap, and they have to sign either Hendrickson that outside, and I think one of their offensive linemen. I don't know if it's Orlando Brown or somebody else that needs to get re-signed. Right. So I don't know how they do that, and I think Burrow's contract is just going to keep going up after this year. Next year is when it starts to hit harder.
Yeah, but do you think maybe Burrow restructures a little bit?
Oh yeah, they'll find a way to like make it a signing bonus or something. Because if I was them, I would try to do everything to have both Higgins and Chase on the same team. Because I mean, Higgins is just sure-handed, and Chase is a big play away. So
right. No, I'd agree. Yeah, I was taking a look to see who they got to sign.
It doesn't say on here for me.
But anyway, I seen that come up, and I thought, wow, that's a large ass contract for a wide receiver. That to me is quarterback money.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's not wide receiver money.
I mean, I wrote it down here. I mean, for the highest paid receiver to the low, for the top 5 at least. Yeah. I mean, you got JJ sitting at 35 mil.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a lot.
In all honesty, who'd you rather have, JJ or Jamar? I mean, I'd rather have JJ. Yeah, JJ all day. Yeah. So when he's asking for that, or if that is what it is, 40 mil.
I think with Jamar,
I'm not saying he's not deserving.
I think
it's just I don't know.
Joe Burrow
though is speed. You know what I mean? He's speed. Not that he's a bad route runner, but let's be honest. We want to compare route runner to route runner. JJ all day long. You know what I mean? So I just think 40.
But so just look at this. So it's 46 million cap hit for Joe Burrow this year, and then Chase is 21 million. He's the second. So if he's going to be 6 million away from his quarterback as far as money being paid yearly, that's crazy to me. I mean, he's a weapon. Don't get me wrong. He's a weapon.
Oh, he is.
But
do you let him go and re-sign Higgins?
I mean, you're not going to cheaper deal out of that, but I don't think.
I don't know about how much. I mean, Higgins is probably people are going to overpay for him. I mean,
but you're not going to pay $40 million a year for him.
No,
but at the same time, too, how much?
And he's a better
team, though.
Higgins is a better route runner. Let's be honest. Yeah. He's not as fast, but he's a better route runner.
I don't know about that.
There's his number. I don't know.
I'm just saying, just like he's short-handed, way more than Chase. But I mean, would you rather take the younger, faster guy or take the sure-handed veteran?
If he's going to cost me the price of a quarterback, I don't know. I'd really
That's
have to think
that's a
about
tough.
it.
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying because you got 25, and I mean Higgins is how old is he? He's 20. He's 26. I mean, I guess they're close in age. I thought he was old. He was 28. That's tough.
so,
Now that
yeah,
we're talking about
Yeah.
that,
yeah. I mean, just interesting. I just that dollar amount when I seen it, I just thought was overpriced.
So I'm glad
Sorry,
I wasn't the
he's
only one that saw that or thought that when I saw that.
yeah. I mean, that's quarterback money. You can't. If you get in, if they pay him that money, they're going to set such a bad precedent in the NFL, and this will go back to the cap, salary cap. You'll be in the same situation you are this year. You know what I mean?
I mean,
That to try to control a team, and two of your guys are going to be making 86 million
I'm not
next year.
just like looking at their contracts. Right, 16% of their cap hit is Joe Burrow, and then the next highest is almost 8% with Chase. But then Hendricks and Brown are both 6 and 5% of the cap. So after
Yeah.
that, it's like 2 to 3%. They don't really have players that are
Right.
high contract.
And they don't have a defense.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They
That's
don't
that's
have
what
a
I'm saying.
defense. You
That's
know
what
what
I'm
I
saying.
mean?
With if they let go Hendricks, which was the second highest sack leader this year with like
Yeah,
12.
you can't
Yeah.
let him go. You
I'm
No.
have
just
to sign
so
him.
I don't know what they do. I mean, Orlando Brown is he was okay, but I mean, he's Burrow got sacked so many times still this
Yeah.
year. So I
Hmm.
don't know what you do, honestly.
I agree. You don't pay Chase 40 million a year.
No.
That's
No.
what you. One thing you do is not
I mean,
pay that
who's the
man that
highest
money.
paid receiver
It's
right now?
JJ. He's
JJ.
35 mil.
35 mil? Then
Yeah.
you make it 35 mil or 35 mil one. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Not 40.
I mean, if that's his
Not
thing,
worth
it's becoming
40.
the highest paid receiver. I mean,
I
there's
mean, I
other ways
get
to
it.
do it. Like,
That's crazy though, dude.
yeah.
So speaking of quarterback money, obviously Justin Fields will be on the market this year. If Pittsburgh don't snag him up, it's actually being reported that the Jets have expressed interest in signing him. How do you see Justin fitting in with a new head coach and for the New York Jets? I'll be
Oh,
honest, I hate it. I'm
see,
a Justin Fields fan. I would not want to see him become a Jet.
to me, you bringing him there, you're putting him in his grave for being a starting quarterback. You know,
Get that nail and
that's
just
not.
start hitting
Yep.
it in.
Yep.
I agree.
It's
I
not the place to
agree.
do it.
Eric, do you
He,
want to
I
see Justin in New York?
After how I saw how he was in Chicago, and I think our fan bases are similar as far as like negativity and kind of like how we can go at a player. I don't
Yeah.
think he's meant like he showed that he tried to show that he was mentally tough, but I don't know if he can survive with that environment.
New York may be the toughest place to play
That's what I'm saying.
a
I
pro
don't
sport.
you can't expect him to like have a good game and then he has a bad game and the fans hate him. He's gonna take it
Right.
mentally. We saw it here, like when he had
Yeah.
shitty games.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want to see him in New York just because. I mean, I want to see him as a starter. I hope Pittsburgh re-signs him. That would be great.
Hmm.
I'd like him to stay with Mike Tomlin, who's a great coach and is great with his players. But I thought that was interesting when it came out that it was being reported that he was going to go to the Jets.
It's just I don't know, but like okay, talking about a contract for him, right? He's not a proven commodity yet, but
Right.
like I see him around a Baker or Derek Carr level kind of contract. I mean, Derek Carr got 4 years, 150 million. You're telling me you're gonna pay? I mean, close to 30,000, a little over 30,000 for
I,
Justin Fields.
I would. I
Yeah,
would.
I
Because
I would.
just
even if you draft a quarterback as the Jets and bring him in, you've got development
I
there on
mean,
both sides.
because I mean, if you look at Geno Smith, I guess you could say Geno Smith is comparable too, but Geno Smith is more obviously a pocket guy, but 3 years, 25 mil. I mean, he's 25 to 30, 35 mil. I think his contract would be, and you paid 3 years for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I think he gets paid. I think he goes somewhere where he can be a starter. I just hope it's not in New York for the Jets or for the Giants. Either one of those teams. Both are in trouble. I think Neighbors is obviously a great wide receiver, but that's about it for the Giants. But it's being reported the Jets anyway, so I'd throw out both New York teams.
Yeah, I don't like you said. I think Pittsburgh needs to keep him, or he needs to go somewhere where they're not gonna. He's not gonna get demolished mentally.
That's definitely not Chicago, L.A., or New York,
Yeah.
as we already know.
Like I think Mitchell Trubisky would have benefited from going to a small market. He couldn't handle being a.
Now let me ask you this: would Cleveland be a good landing spot for Justin?
No, that's terrible.
That's Eric's team, and he's even saying no.
What about Tennessee? I know before it was also being reported that they.
I could see Tennessee.
Yeah.
I could see, but I mean,
you think they're done with the Will Levis?
I was gonna say, how much are you
yeah.
gaining with the
Yeah.
Justin Fields over Will Levis?
I would take Justin Fields over Will Levis.
Oh, I would too, hands down.
I don't
Listen,
know,
this is the
guys.
deal. Will Levis made so many crucial errors at the worst time. All right. Justin Fields definitely made mistakes in Chicago.
He made a lot.
He did all right, but when he went to Pittsburgh, he made some really good decisions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, better decisions than Will Levis made this year. Let's be honest. I mean, he let the Bears beat him in the last portion of that game and never should have.
It's just tough.
Let me ask you this, because there's only two other teams that I can really think of that he could land. New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be a landing, but I think they got Spencer Rattler, who they're gonna go with, would be my guess.
I mean, I said, Derek Carr's contract is still big, 25 mil.
Or what if we seen him in that nasty green and yellow?
He doesn't go to
stuff.
Green Bay. What are you talking?
I don't know. I mean, I can see they need a backup.
They're
They
not
need a
going to pay.
backup.
They're going to try to go for someone like T. Higgins. They need a number one receiver. They're not going to overpay for a quarterback. There's no way. You don't see that happen. They're not going to have.
Malik did a good job as a backup, but let's be honest. If Love showed he was not their franchise quarterback at any time, it was definitely this year. I don't know if it's because of injury. Nobody knows what they actually truly let the fans know or anybody else. But time will tell next year for Love after they paid so much money for him.
Yeah.
Change of pace guy, Justin Fields, and I don't want to see him in that.
I don't think
nasty
coming off Mike Tomlin.
I'm sorry,
I
don't think
behind
that
some great
happens.
coaching, he's learned a lot more. So
I don't think that happens.
Would you be a Justin fan still, Eric?
What's that?
Would you be a Justin fan still?
Fuck no.
Eric, I'll get you some green and yellow dye for your jersey, buddy.
His contract, Love's contract is crazy because it goes from like being 11 to 10 mil to 43 mil in 2028.
Yeah.
I was just, oh man.
All right. Probably going to be my favorite part of this is going to be talking about the top 5 free agents available as of right now. As of right now, free agency starts March 12th, I believe. We're going to touch base on the running backs, wide receivers, and offensive linemen. This podcast. Next week, we'll cover the defensive line, the linebackers, and then the defensive backs. And then the following week, we will cover any quarterbacks that still might be out there that have any interests for teams and stuff like that who we feel are the best. I'll tell you what, Eric, give me your top 5 running backs.
My top 5 running backs. I went back and forth with this one. just because I forgot that J.K. Dobbins was a free agent this year, but I think he gets re-signed. So I'm gonna put, if he doesn't get re-signed, KJ Dobbins my number one. Number two will be Aaron Jones. Number three would be Najee Harris, and number four, Nick Chubb. And uh, the last one, I'll be honest with you, I was like, should I just do like DJ? Not DJ. What is it? I just had it written down. I can't remember now.
If you had it written down, look where you wrote it down, sir.
No, I had it. I had it, but it's not on here because I only put 4.
You guys, Eric does great homework before these podcasts. So,
I do. I had it, but I just stopped.
Jake, what do you got for your top 5 running backs?
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of think you're crazy. I mean, I know he's coming off injury. I mean, whatever. I still got Chubb up there as one. I mean,
he can't run the ball. No way.
That's behind Cleveland, though.
So,
let him get through, Eric. We'll debate these afterwards.
Sorry.
I mean, I truly think if he goes to a great team. If he goes to a great team, that man's still going to do great things. You know. Then I put Aaron Jones. I mean, I still think he's got a little bit left in the tank. I mean, he's good on on short routes, anything, and I think his running's obviously slacking a little bit. But, and then I put Najee, number 3. I just haven't, ever since he came into the league, there's not been very much coming back out. So then I put Dobbins, and then I'm going to Javonte Williams from Denver for number 5.
All right. Well, you guys, I got the number 1 is Najee Harris coming out. You guys, it's over 1,000 yards rushing this past year.
Oh my!
All right. Listen, over 283 yards receiving. All right. Number 1. Number 2, you guys left this one out. He was underutilized, and they threw the ball too much in Dallas. All right. Rico Dowdle, okay, had over 1,000 yards rushing and 249 yards receiving behind that Dallas team that really struggled, right? Okay, just keep that in mind. Rico next year is going to be Rico Suave. Rico Suave. All right. Number 3, I got J.K. Dobbins. All right. He had 905 yards rushing this year in 13 games. He had 153 yards receiving. Obviously shortened. To be honest with you, I would have put Dobbins at number 1, but he can't stay healthy. If he could stay healthy, I'd probably have him at 1, but that's literally the only reason why I did not have him at 1. I have number 4. I agree with you, Jake. Javonte Williams. If you look, he is that dual threat running back. He is. He 513 yards rushing and 346 yards receiving, and he wasn't always the featured back. So if he goes to a team that's going to put him as running back number 1, all right, 1, he can pass block, 2, he can catch, and 3, he can run the ball. I mean, why wouldn't you? That's a no-brainer.
Because he got replaced by a 6th-round running back. He
got replaced by
I had him on my fantasy team. Every week he had to be like 2 points. You're going to kill me this way? It's going to be better? No way. Oh, my God.
And my number 5, and I'm disappointed in both you guys, because this name didn't hit any of your guys' lists, okay? And I want you guys to hear this before you say anything, all right? Khalil Herbert is not done with the league.
Okay.
He was hold on. He was underutilized with the Bears, right? The last 2 years with the Bears, he was underutilized. We had a great offensive coordinator in Chicago that made that decision, huh? Shane Waldron? No. All right. Who was before Shane Waldron?
What are we talking about?
What was his name? Went to the Raiders? Who was the offensive coordinator?
Luke Getsy.
Yep. Yeah, great offensive coordinator. All right, great. I trust his decisions. Not. All right. He was underutilized. He went to Cincinnati and didn't do a bad job when he got there. All right. He's still 26 years old. All right. And get a load of this. I didn't know this till I looked it up. His career yards per run is 4.8 yards a carry. Not bad for a running back that was underutilized and the Bears pissed away. Just saying.
You know,
Oh
I
my god,
did have him in the back of my mind for
you
that,
guys
but
are you're smoking too much here. Okay,
because
there's no
he's
way
not
you're gonna
wrong.
put
He's not
Khalil
wrong.
Herbert. You're gonna put your fan goggles are on. I'm disappointed, Chad.
No, there's no
Okay,
fan
he
goggles.
is
No fan
not.
goggles. He
He's
doesn't play
not
for the
the fifth
Bears.
best. He could have went to. You could say Kareem Hunt. You could have said anyone else. Jordan Mason. You could have
Kareem
said
Hunt
any of
had a
these.
decent listen. Kareem Hunt had
Oh
a
my
decent season,
god.
but let's be honest. The first couple games were his best games. After that, the defense
Went
did a good
downhill.
job of
Yeah.
stopping him.
I mean,
I mean, he wasn't getting those runs into the end zone on those goal line attempts after a while. I mean, even and it may part of that might have been that offense and the way it was being ran. Obviously, we've seen problems with it in the Super Bowl. I'm just saying in general, I thought Hunt was good in those first couple games. He is not a starter in the NFL anymore.
I agree with that.
I'm just you can't. I just there's no way you can even say Jalen Warren, and he's smaller than
You would
I just-
start Hunt over Khalil Herbert.
Yes!
Starting in a starting.
He literally
role.
got
Oh,
traded to the
Lord.
Bengals. He got
Everyone-
traded.
Oh my
He got
God.
traded to the Bengals, and he
He got
fumbled his
traded,
first. He fumbled the first thing. The
Oh
first time he
my
got the ball.
God.
After that, he had maybe 3 yards the whole season, the rest of the season. Okay, he got opportunities.
We're drug testing.
He
people
got
from here on out.
opportunities, and he
We're
never
drug
showed
testing
anything with
people.
that. You can even go I read about Chase Edwards with the Tampa Bay. He probably had the same statistics this year. I mean, come on.
How you gonna say he
Underutilized.
probably did? You gotta have
Khalil
facts,
Herbert.
buddy.
Khalil Herbert.
Yes,
You put your
I
number
agree with
your number one running back is a guy who couldn't even start 17 games. He couldn't
Okay.
start 16 games.
I'm just
Matter of
going
fact,
off
He
his
couldn't even
skill.
start 14 games.
Oh,
He could only
my
start 13 games for
God.
the season.
No
Just
way.
saying.
No way.
Khalil Herbert could start them all.
No, he couldn't
And
because he
has in
couldn't
the
be on the
past.
field, obviously for a reason, because he doesn't show up.
No, because we had special people as offensive coordinators.
You can't just make special people.
Oh, people who smoking the same shit you're smoking.
Oh, my God.
So,
It just-
all right, wide receivers. Jake, I'll let you start with the wide receivers.
All right,
Who's
so
your top
obviously,
five?
you got who we already talked about, Higgins. You got to put him up there as number one. After that, and I've heard some talks about it, but I don't know how much is true, or I've seen some articles, but I put Godwin up there. I think he's going to go somewhere too. I wanted to put Diggs. I mean, I put Diggs number 3, but I wanted to put him 1. But just with the attitude and just to me, the lack of performance from Texans. I mean, to me, he drops 3. And then this is where I kind of struggle too because I really like Amari Cooper, but I mean, I put him 4, and then I think D-Hop still got a little bit left. I mean, to me, and you have a good veteran in the locker room that can teach younger people too. So
Gotcha. All right, I'll give mine while Eric's shaking his head and trying to figure out his 5. So I got T. Higgins, obviously, 73 receptions, 911 yards, 10 touchdowns. Great route runner, obviously great hands. I think we're all in agreement upon that, or should be. If not, we're definitely drug testing Eric after this podcast is over. My number 2 is Amari Cooper. I don't think I think he's still a starter. I don't think he was utilized right. Obviously, he started his season with the Browns, came to Buffalo, started having some success there. We always talk about the Browns and how bad they are. Unfortunately, he got stuck there for a while. My number 3 is actually Mac Hound. I think towards the end of the season, he really started to show out in Buffalo, started to show that he is a great number 2 and probably could be a number 1 in an offense. 31 receptions, 378 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Like I said, he didn't even start really showing out until towards the end of the season for him. Chris Godwin would have been my number 2 or number 1, my number 2 or my number 3. My only problem with him is coming off that major injury. How is he going to be? Obviously, he only played 7 games. In that 7 games, he had 50 receptions, 576 yards, and 5 touchdowns. I mean, Godwin's a hell of a wide receiver. Just see how he bounces back from that injury would be my biggest question. And my fifth and final one, I don't care, call me a homer or whatever. I still think Keenan Allen is a great receiver and still can be that one or that two. He had 70 receptions, 744 yards, and 7 touchdowns, and the Bears did not have a better route runner than him all year. Eric.
So obviously T Higgins number one, Chris Godwin number two. I couldn't decide between. I'll just go Amari Cooper because he still looks fast and he can still get open. He didn't play as much as I thought he was going to at the end of the year. And then for my last one, I'm going to go Marquise Brown just because he's still fast and he looked like he was getting back into shape when he.
You have one more. That's only 4.
That was 5.
That
was 5.
That was 4.
I had 5.
You said Higgins, Godwin, Cooper, and then who else?
Marquise
Brown.
Yeah.
That's 4.
Yeah. I thought that was 5. Oh shit. Oh, sorry, Elijah Moore. Just because he's young, he's only 24.
Automatic drug test right there.
Yeah, right. Elijah Moore,
man.
just because he's fast and he has really crisp routes. I think he.
And I'm the old one.
He was,
they taught me proper math when I went to school.
I thought I had. I can't count. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'll start out with my top 5 offensive linemen. I will be honest with you. I did a little research, but not a whole lot on this one. Kind of just went off of what everybody else has been talking. I got number 1. I got Trey Smith, offensive guard. I've got Stanley from the Ravens, offensive tackle. Drew Dahlman, the center from the Falcons. Cam Robinson, the tackle from the Vikings, which probably get re-signed anyway. And then I've got Will Fries, the offensive guard for the Indianapolis Colts. Those are my 5 that I got on there. Eric, what do you have?
Okay, Trey Smith number 1 for me. Ronnie Stanley number 2. I have Drew Dahlman number 3. Will Fries number 4, and Tevin Jenkins number 5.
You think Jenkins is better than Robinson?
Yes. Younger. I'm going with age here. I'm going with age. Okay? You're talking about a tackle and guard here, and Robinson got traded for a 5th round pick or 6th round pick.
I'm just proud you were able to.
No way you're gonna say that a 30-year-old tackle that had okay games in Minnesota is better than Tevin Jenkins.
How many games was Jenkins not there?
Oh my God! No way. They probably played the same amount of games, to be fair, because he didn't start until the end of the year.
The best thing about Jenkins is he just brought a baby in this world last season. That's all.
Yep. You guys are something else, I tell you.
Eric's dad, what do you have as your top 5?
Well, let me, my son kind of followed in my footsteps a little bit. I agree with the first 4. But then, this is where my son kind of, he falls off the tree, a little bit too hard. But I went with Becton from the Eagles. I mean, just the way that team played, I feel like that's going to drive stock up even more,
People are going to overpay for him. You want to talk about somebody that gets hurt.
Yeah, but, I mean, to me, that stock value is there. You just won a Super Bowl. That's the way I see it, And it's not like it was just a defensive-heavy game, because that offense did do some stuff too.
Right. Definitely. All right. So we all agree that my picks were definitely their correct ones then, right? No.
We'll leave that for everyone else.
Let's talk some Bears news. Not a lot out there, to be honest with you. Just a couple little tidbits here and there. Ian Cunningham will be staying with the Bears. He did not get selected as the GM for the Jags. The Jags are going with Gladstone from 49ers. So we don't get 2 third-round picks, but that's okay. It's nice to have Ian Cunningham in there because one of the things that we'll talk about here after we talk about the releases is the 1st and 2nd round picks for the Bears. Today, the Bears did release DeMarcus Walker and Jared Everett Are either one of you guys surprised by that one?
I don't think so. No, I think
Yeah,
it
same.
just was kind of the writing on the
Saving
wall. So,
caps.
yep.
Yeah, saving cap space
Some
there.
people wanted to get rid of freaking Santos and Komet. I'm just saying these people are crazy sometimes. I know Chad probably would want to get rid of
It's probably
Santos.
your fan crowd there, buddy.
No, it's Chad's fan crowd.
I would get rid of Santos if it was up to me. That dude would be gone. History
Yeah.
toast. And
You're just a hater, drinking the
I,
haterade.
I would rather hire a bum off the street than to keep Santos. Just telling you. Just telling you. We could probably go. We could probably have what's his name, the punter, start kicking. I'm sure he could do a better job than Santos. So.
I say let's bring back Cody Parkey.
Yeah, I mean, at least he got close to
He's
the.
accurate.
He get it blocked
He's
all the
accurate.
time.
He's like 90% in one of the hardest places to kick in Chicago.
Yeah, but the shit thing is he can't kick anything.
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
It does
I'd rather have anything
Lord.
within
Hey,
50
in today's NFL,
It doesn't
you're telling me
matter
it don't
about
matter.
today's NFL. If they can't make it, you have Justin Tucker, the best leg in the NFL, can't make kicks. You rather take that over or the?
We really want to talk about Tucker
kicks?
right now?
I'm just
want to talk about Tucker right now.
I'm just saying. It does. I'd rather take somebody that can make a shot in the windiest city
would you
a
take,
hard city to kick. We're not an indoor field.
You would take Deshaun Watson, so it doesn't surprise me you take Justin Tucker too. So
I was just saying.
Are you a massage therapist?
Yes. It's my favorite. It's my favorite pastime. It's my favorite pastime.
All right. For the NFL.
Yeah. That's how you pay for my gambling addiction.
Oh no!
No, but
hey, do you hear that, Jake?
Yeah, I heard it.
No, but I'm serious. Why would you want? Chicago's known for being one of the hardest places to kick, and you want to take somebody that can't kick a ball. They could just kick it far, but they can't kick it accurate. That's crazy.
Why is it that everybody else can go in there and kick field
goals? What everybody else?
Our field goal kicker.
What everybody
who
else?
beat us this year.
Everybody
who beat us this year.
Oh my god! No.
Everybody that beat us. You have to admit, if he doesn't fix that low trajectory, he's not worth that.
There's plenty of kickers that have low trajectories, but we don't hear about it because their offensive line can actually block. It's not
because they're 61 and 62-yard field goals. That's why, not 50. In today's NFL, to see a kicker kick 55 yards to 60 yards is nothing anymore. Am I right?
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it's literally everyone seems like has a boot. You know, we struggle to make it.
That's the key word. Seems like
Dallas.
It's just the truth.
Yeah, Dallas just brought somebody in off the streets for the most part, and that guy was booting them.
Oh yeah,
60, 65 yards.
I mean, Eric, would you rather end up with 3 points or 0 points, buddy?
I'd rather end up with a sure kicker that I know that it's going to make the kick than someone that we don't know is going to make the kick. I'm not going to answer your question. I'm not going to answer your question so I can prove you right, you fuck. Jesus Christ.
All right. Speaking of, we talked about Ian Cunningham staying with the Bears. Also, we'll talk a little bit about. I thought it was interesting. I seen the stat come across. I think it was Instagram or something like that I was looking at. The Bears have the highest percentage first and second round picks starting in the NFL. And then I'm actually looking for the stat right now. I know I sent it out to you guys, but out of their first round and second round picks, all right, that are starters, there's only one that is not a starter for them anymore. All right. Justin Fields is the only one that is not. You got Tevin Jenkins, Cole Kmet, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, Darnell Wright, Dexter Sr., Tariq Stevenson, Caleb Williams, and Roma Dunze. All of them are starters and first and second round picks. It is at 91% of those that are picked. The Eagles are in second at 90% of their first and second round starters. Shocking stat? I mean, or not really?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Being obviously a Bears fan, we know how, some of our first round picks have ended up, We don't really seem to have too much luck with that. I think what kind of helps us is, we have been better drafting in the second round, but it shocked me when I seen that. So
Yeah, yeah. I guess the other thing that shocked me was the worst team on that one, and that was the Washington Redskins. At 36% of their first and second round picks are starters for them.
I mean
A little shocking.
that didn't surprise me because I mean
No.
a lot of that was coming off that defense that got traded away. So I mean that don't surprise me a whole lot.
Now, if you look at another team that's at the bottom of that, really is the Packers at 54%. And you always, and as a Bears fan, I'll admit, I've always thought as Green Bay as being a great team that drafts very well. Okay. And that does a good job at developing their players. They're not a team that goes out and chases high dollar free agents. They never really have been, but it was shocking to see them at 54%. I mean, I guess that's a good note as far as the late rounds, but I guess when you're thinking like picks that they've had, like Eddie Lacy and that, I guess their first and second rounds aren't very good. So, was that a little bit shocking to you guys?
Yeah, I thought I was going to see, since they have the youngest team in the NFL, I was going to see them up there. But like you said, it probably shows that they can find gems in the late rounds.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, any other Bears news you guys want to talk about?
I mean I think that's about all I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Besides, you brought up the releases today, but so
They're
that's
probably
about
going to
it.
release. I would see them releasing a few other people that we just don't care about. But
Yeah, I think that we'll definitely see
okay,
some cap
top
relief.
topic we could talk about, right? Just because I want to add one thing. You guys pay Trey Smith 110 million for 4 years. I mean, he's 20. He's going to be 26, but you pay a right tackle that much? Is he that? I mean, is he that guy that he's going to make Darnell Wright like the other guy? I mean, I don't know.
I I think that if you bring Kevin Jenkins back at a good price,
He's not coming back.
um,
He's not coming
I,
back.
I'm just saying if you do, I wouldn't say he wouldn't. I'm not saying that. Um, I think if you bring him back at the right price because his health is always in question, then yeah, you can do that at 4 years because you've got Caleb at a discounted rate at least for three more um, because of his rookie deal. If you cannot bring Jenkins in, no, you have to really start looking at then drafting your tackle and paying attention to who you can sign as guard. Just my
Yeah.
take.
I mean, I personally would get Drew Dahlman over. I mean, Trey Smith. Trey Smith is he was great, but is he all pro guard that deserves to be the highest paid guard in the NFL? I don't know. I mean,
Uh, the way the way that line looked in the Super Bowl, I would probably say no.
Yeah.
That might have lowered his value a little bit. Just
Yeah.
my take.
Well, I
That's what I
mean,
was gonna say.
it raised the value of the defensive players on the Eagles. The sweat and
Yeah.
whatever that
It
defensive tackle's
yeah,
name is. Those dudes
it
are going to
did.
get good contracts. So, but I'm just saying, I'd rather get the center because I mean, I don't know. I'm not a scout or anything, but I don't see a lot of good centers this draft, personally.
Yeah, I think we definitely have to go after Atlanta center. I
Yeah.
will say that. I think if we don't, we're doing ourselves a disservice
I think
as
it'd be more
the Chicago
affordable.
Bears.
It'd be more affordable, and it would just be. I mean, to lock up like a 26-year-old guard, going into a second contract. I think that would be great for Caleb Williams as well. That'd be a
Right.
good center.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Some NFL now to the MMA. All right. Actually, a lot of movement in the MMA world. A lot of stuff going on after PFL pretty much disbanded. Bellator. Bellator obviously no more. Um, and I think PFL is actually starting to show signs of cracking. within, from what I'm reading, could be wrong, but we'll start first with Illa Taporia. Vacated his belt, moving up to lightweight. Good choice for him.
Can he
I
keep
mean,
up that rampage? Because I mean, he's so fast and powerful. At I I don't know, dude. That's tough for me. I didn't expect him to do something like that personally.
I mean,
No,
it's just
no,
it's such a challenge. I can see you need that new competition, but at the same time, you put on that little extra weight, you might slow
yeah,
down a little bit. I mean, unless you can do it the right way, but I don't know.
yeah. I think that I, I almost think that he wanted that move to go up there and maybe tried to double champ it. I think that the UFC kind of. I noticed there's not a lot of double champs, and there's not a lot of people talking about being double champs anymore. I think the UFC kind of put the kibosh on that only because it starts holding up the belt situation. I feel, um, but who knows? I mean, only they know why. I think Taporio, I agree to keep that pace at a little bit bigger weight. Probably gonna be a little bit harder.
He's not going to
We
be
may
better
see.
than Islam, dude. There's no way he's better than
You just
Islam.
never know. Taporio's hands are nasty, dude.
I last fight he surprised me. You like just the speed and the spider monkey ability to get on his back like that. It just, but I don't know. Islam just looks so much bigger. I mean, Taporia is a,
Oh yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
I
mean.
agree.
I don't know.
I agree. I mean, Islam definitely looks bigger, but I don't discount anything with Taporia anymore. I really don't.
Yeah,
Uh, Volkanovski and Lopez will fight for that belt now. Um, I'll tell you right now. I mean, we'll make our predictions when that comes around, but uh, I don't know who beats Diego Lopez right now. That
I
dude's
was
a
gonna
bad,
say.
bad man.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, unless you, because I mean, you got Islav that could be going up there, but I think he's a fight or two away from going against a champ.
Yeah, yeah. And Volkanovski is a tough guy, but from what Diego Lopez has shown, I mean, he's just he's a great fighter, entertaining to watch too, which is great. And I know that Eric loves him because he's a Mexican fighter.
He's Brazilian, but he lives in Mexico, so yes.
Oh, he
Uh,
lives in Mexico.
yeah,
Oh, I thought he was a Mexican fighter overall.
no,
Period.
no. How do you even say this name? Mozavar Ivalov. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, Ivalov or however you say his name.
Imavov.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, who else? I mean, because who else you got in that weight that you're like, oh yeah, I could see him beat Lopez. I mean,
Yeah,
Holloway. I don't know if he's past that.
yeah.
I
I don't
don't know.
know. We'll see. We'll see as it goes. I think it throws a wrench in a lot, and it also adds some excitement. I think the UFC is definitely hitting the right strides with what they've got going on. Some exciting fights going on. Really good fighters. So, all right, now speaking of really good fighters, they also picked up two more fighters. Uh, they picked up Paige Van Zant's
Hubby,
husband.
hubby.
Yep, Austin Vanderford. I successful in Bellator.
What
See
weight
how
is he going to
that.
be at?
I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look. To be honest with you, I did
Okay,
not take that far. I
I
just
didn't
know he's
either.
had some success in Bellator when
Yeah.
he was in it. Um, Not a bad fighter. We'll see how that translates over when he gets in the octagon. What are you guys thinking? How he'll do?
I
Um,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Jake.
Eric. Go ahead.
I know he had some success, like you said. He was a double champ at one time, right? Was it right? Or he
Yeah.
had, yeah. But I don't know because we've seen how Bellator guys do over here. I mean, I don't know. I don't think any. I don't know. I wonder who they throw at him first. That's why I wanted to see what weight he was at.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's what I
Jake,
was
what
gonna
do you think?
say. That's what I was gonna say. I know, based on what has happened in the past. I mean, what Bellator fighters have done. But I mean, it could be the right stuff for him. It could be a good. You got the different competition levels, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to speak too soon. I'm not that person.
All right. And then the other one that they signed was Pitbull. I think I would love to have seen him in the UFC about 5 to 7 years ago.
I was gonna say he's
Um,
37. I mean,
yeah, his age, I think is going to get him in the UFC. Do I think he is a lot better 5 to 7 years ago in the UFC? Absolutely. Hell of a fighter. Love seeing the wars between him and Chandler. Um, but just age is going to get him, I think, personally.
I mean, I wouldn't count age out just yet. You just seen a 40-year-old. What was it last weekend? Throw some
Yeah.
hands. So I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
So I mean, at that point, I mean, yeah, you're getting older, but I mean, you got 40-year-old out there throwing hands, making it look, pretty easy for that last bit. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. They have made a fight for him. He's going to go against Yair Rodriguez for his first match
Oh, that
for
should be good in February.
UFC
Yep.
314.
Yeah.
So that should be a good one. Actually, Jake's brother, my youngest son, will be at that fight. So we'll have to tell him to take some live video footage and send it to us, and we can throw that on the podcast. But he'll be out there for that one, watching that fight. So it should be pretty cool. Um, Aaron Pico has said to PFL he does not want to fight under their brand anymore. Said that he wants to fight at least 3 times a year, and the brand will not do that for him. He said he's lucky if he fights once a year. I know Aaron Pico coming out of high school was already signed with Bellator. Golden Gloves boxer, great wrestler. Um, did fairly well. Had a lot of learning lessons when he was in Bellator. Would love to see him in the UFC. I think that in the right camps, he'll do very well. Are you guys familiar with Aaron Pico?
Yeah.
I'm not no.
Yeah, because
No.
I remember they were like, "You should go to college and wrestle," and he's like, "Nah, I'm going to Bellator and getting paid." But he
Yeah.
was kind of like Sage Northcutt, but actually fought better than obviously was better
Yeah.
than you know.
He took some lumps while he was learning. I mean,
No,
he
for
he got
sure.
knocked out cold.
Yeah,
What was his second or third match?
it
I
was
think
his
it
third.
was.
I'm pretty sure it was his third one,
Yeah.
right?
So
Because, but he's like a farm kid. Like he's like in Arizona or Texas. He seems like a decent guy. I don't know how old he is now, but I mean, he's kind of like Ramirez too, Chiwiwis. So, uh,
yeah.
but I don't know.
Well,
I
we'll
would
see what he
like to
does.
see him though. I remember because he was like very hyped up back at that time.
Yeah, very, very. And before we get to our fight night predictions, last but not least, Fedor is not retired. He just signed to fight in bare knuckle. I love bare knuckle fighting. I'll tell you right now, I love to watch it. Those dudes are beasts. Um, I mean, he's fighting. I forgot who he's fighting now. He's fighting for the belt for the fight. But thoughts on it? Too old? Could do
I think he's
well.
too old. I don't know. I think he's done enough. Nothing more to prove. I think he's
Josh
just doing
Barnett is who
himself.
he's fighting, by the way. Josh Barnett.
I think he's just doing himself some more damage right now. I think he should just call it as it is. Leave it at that.
Yeah. Eric, you like him coming out and fighting bare knuckles?
I wish I would have seen him in the UFC. Like I wish that would have been a thing
Back in the day.
back in the day when he was in his prime. But it's just a money grab now. I mean, he's a tough
Yeah.
guy. I wouldn't want to face. I don't know who would want to face that man, but it's just a money
Josh
grab.
Barnett.
Yeah, I
Josh
guess
Barnett
Josh
knows.
Barnett. Yeah.
So, but it's. I was kind of surprised to see him out of his retirement phase and do fighting again. But like you said, maybe it's a money thing. I don't know. I mean, he's a huge name for Russians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would need the money.
I mean, that's what it seems like a lot of this stuff nowadays is just that money grab, but you never
Yeah,
know.
right. All right, Jake. You got your fight predictions for the main card?
I
For this
do.
segment?
I do.
All right.
All right.
Watch you
So
then.
I got Alonzo Menafield over Walker. I got Gene Silva over Melis. I don't know how you say that.
Elsick.
Yeah, there you go, Melsick.
You can just say his first name. Yeah.
Then you got I got Font over. Uh, let's go with his
That's
first name.
Masso.
Yep. I got Hernandez over Allen just because Hernandez has that killer name to him. So,
Man.
and then I got Yadong over Henry Cejudo. I know that's gonna hurt Eric's feelings, but there it is.
Eric, you want to give yours or you want me to
Sure.
give mine? It's up to
I
you.
can go here.
Go ahead, Eric.
I'm gonna take Walker over Menafield because Menafield's steroids wore off, and he can't use them anymore. And then I'll go with Silva. I don't really know either of these fighters, so I'll just go with the favorite there. And then so I think I'll go with the Brazilian younger guy. I don't want to mess up his last name. Matsumoto. Yeah, he's younger, undefeated. I'm just gonna try to go with the hot hand. This was I don't know how you go with Allen there, or did you go with Hernandez, Jake? What did you go with?
He went with Hernandez.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I was gonna give you shit.
You gotta go with the killer last name, bud.
Yeah, right. I'll go with Hernandez as well. This should be a good fight, and then dude, this was hard for me as well because I was a huge Henry Cejudo fan. When he became a gold glove, Olympic champ. But no, I'll go with the younger guy, Young Dong. Young Dong's gonna win
Sung
this fight.
Yudong.
Yep.
I'm
All right.
surprised.
I know,
All
man.
right.
If he wasn't 40 and just past his prime, I would have picked Cejudo.
Now here's your winners. Just the listeners out there.
Man.
All right. I'm taking Walker over Menafield. Walker was a two-time champ in two different organizations. Menafield's lost two in a row. I agree. The roids are starting to deflate his system, and we've seen what happened to Overeem when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Silva over Melsick. Listen, Silva's coming off 11-fight win streak. He hasn't lost since April of 2018. I don't know if you guys realize that. Melsick is 1-1 in 2023. He has not fought since that. So this is his first fight back. I got Matsumoto over Font. He's 16-0. He hasn't been beat yet. And Rob Font's getting old. Been around UFC forever, but his age is going to get him too. So I got Hernandez over Allen. Hernandez got a 6-fight win streak. His last loss coming May of 2020. And then I'm taking Triple C, boys. I'm taking Triple C. And the reason why is because of his experience. And the other is, and I'm very familiar with Song Yadong. I can bring my wife in here. She'll verify it because I watched him and thought he was great. His one problem is, if you look at his win-loss, he has not beaten anybody with a name yet. Nobody. If he beats Triple C, it'll be the first time he's beat somebody with a name, and it's on a guy that's older. I'm just saying I took Triple C because of that reason. I also think Triple C is taking it a little bit more serious now that he's on a 2-fight losing streak. The two guys he's lost to are a lot better than anybody that Sung Yudong has lost to. So
yeah,
that's why I took Triple C. Not because he's an Olympic champ.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it would have been the other way around. I thought Eric would have been the one taking him, and
I mean, to be fair, Sung Yudong didn't look terrible against Jan. I mean, Jan was a good. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. I just you can't. He's still young. He's 27.
Who did Jan lose to though?
Jan and
twice. Who did he lose to twice?
Oh, you're gonna say he did look really good against Cejudo. I mean, I don't know. I still think Jan is getting to his peak right now. So
I was 3-2 last week. Jake, what did you end up?
I don't know. To be honest, I didn't keep track of what I was.
I think it was the same as me, or I was.
I think we had the same picks actually.
We were. No, you had one different. You had one different.
No, that's right. I did the upset.
Yeah. So Eric, what did you have?
What were you last week? Was it the same 3-2, or was it not?
I think you were 2-3.
I don't remember. It was around there.
I think I remember. We will be live on TikTok for the main card. If
We
you want to
shall.
join us,
Yes.
follow us on TikTok.
Come say hello.
All right. Eric, what do you got in closing on this fine Friday evening?
Same thing. We appreciate the followers, the listeners, anything, because we hungry. And yeah, thanks for watching the show.
Jake, what do you got in closing?
By
Besides being Eric's daddy.
but for what my son means, he's hungry is because he's eating me out of the whole entire house. So we can show the pictures, if you guys want to.
Oh no.
But I appreciate everyone for listening, and like I said, like they said, like and follow. So on all socials.
All right, we appreciate you listening. I'll third that one. Just want to say good luck to those IHSA wrestlers down in Champaign, Illinois, wrestling. Definitely got some local kids here from Rochelle that are live on it. 4 of them that qualified. They had 5 from Sycamore that qualified and 1 from DeKalb. So wish them all luck in the world of wrestling. Wrestling is life. It is one of the greatest sports. If you have kids and you listen, get them active in any club level wrestling. Wrestling is life. Right, Jake?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
All right, we're saying that. Please follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, follow us on all socials, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. We appreciate you guys listening. We're out. Peace.